So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and singing the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. You're watching Variety Talk live from Las Vegas. I am your host, Linda Leak, and welcome to the show, everyone. Before we go into the weekend, today is Thursday, and by Monday, we will all be celebrating another wonderful landmark in history, which will be the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and what we wanted to do today was just take a little time to explore what freedom really means, what he really wanted for lack of better terms, his people, for all Americans, as a matter of fact. And since this is a business networking show, we will be speaking about many businesses that have grown to rates that are absolutely unbelievable because of Dr. Martin Luther King. Making the direct connection between Dr. King, I Have a Dream speech, and the real estate ownership, the basis of the American dream, is unbelievable. And actually during the civil rights movement, less than 20% of African Americans who owned real estate were actually thought of in a very huge way, and that was only less than 20% during that movement. Today, the African Americans who have ownership has grown exponentially, and more importantly, the real estate owners who now hold corporations has grown exponentially. And so we want to talk a little bit today about that. So we have one gentleman who is a living example of a dream, who has lived the American dream, who is living the American dream, and we're going to bring him on the show today to share with us what he has done in terms of real estate. So there's one last thing I'd like to share, and that is that the first line in the preamble to the Code of Ethics for the National Association of Realtors states that under all is the land, and upon its wise utilization and widely allocated ownership depend the survival and the growth of free institutions and our civilization. So what we're going to do today is make the connection about freedom, real freedom. So anyway, everyone, thank you for joining the show, and when you come back, we're going to be talking about Mr. Rogie Rogers. And as a matter of fact, I'm a little long-winded here today, but it's really important to know that Mr. Rogers wants to make sure that it's not about him, but it really is about freedom. And so he has been kind enough to be the living example for us here on Variety Talk. So he is very humble, so we will humbly bring him on in a minute. You're watching Variety Talk live from Las Vegas. I'm your host, Linda Leak, and we'll see you in a minute.